will not divide you. He will not divide, oh. He will not divide us. 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 I was trying to do it. Man, that's crazy. I can't even do that though. Throw me up.
18. You guys go to school right now? You guys go to school right now?
No, I don't know. She does.
I go to Frank Sinatra. You don't go to school?
No, I go to school. I just not around here.
You guys come here every day?
I've been in some bars. I'm taking breaks. It's like today I'm sitting out right now, which is the lowest amount of time.
You stay out like the whole day.
10 hours, shit, 12.
What makes you guys come out?
People, honestly, it's like meditating and then there's like people like connection that's important to me. And then it started turning into something different. So I did like a album, like, it might start to die out. Maybe it'll come out and whatever. It's like a little spirit of music. We have like barriers or whatever.
Yeah.
But I need like a mental break because people are crazy.
People are crazy.
Like they drive me crazy. I mean, like the people that like have their opinions and spew them, they don't even drive me crazy. It's the people that like
Come get drunk.
nah, not even that. It's those people that literally like switch aside every day and wear disguises and pretend to be different people. It's like those people like drive me nuts. I need to do that. Yeah, right. What was the connection with them?
First off, I want to thank Shia and his two collaborators for making this, my people here for joining me while I was joining them. I'm about to reveal something that needs to be revealed. My name is Zaleo Zane. First of all, as I pray to the one true God, the creator of the sun, the moon, the stars, the animals, this earth, other planets, and us human beings, to name a few. As I write this, I do wish that you, Mr. President of this great nation, Donald J. Trump, do also pray to God as you embark on something far bigger than you have ever been a part of or seem to have imagined. There are reasons why the moon rotates the earth, why this planet is mostly water, and why there is an Egyptian pyramid with an eye on the dollar bill of this country. You are officially prophesized as having a significant role in human history, being in control of another human being or nation. Fact has been coveted by many. The rewards, the possibilities, and the ramifications of mind control. Not for this statement. You, Mr. Trump, have been rewarded with holding the most intricate, complex, sophisticated, not just political or position of power, but the most complex vantage hand and variable sequences of events ever documented in modern human history. You are scheduled to be the leader of the free world in the great enlightening year of 2020, where spirituality, science, and cerebral understanding of it all, plus the all-seeing eye, will reveal itself in disguise and plain sight to the worthy. It will be a beautiful and prophesized catalyst for all the great luminaries, scientists, logistics specialists, enviro specialists, artists, teachers, and other specialists who are currently trying to use their best minds and best hearts to help this amazing planet that has provided all we need to survive, thrive, and feel alive. Over time, the way people interpret things, communicate together, or even learn about the history or planet has become filtered in so many ways that there are people in this country and others who cannot decipher or accept the things they are told or even experience with their seven senses as the truth, let alone promises to make this country great again. Donnie Boy, Donnie Jr., America, it's been great. Life isn't always about the headlines, the problems, and the drama. From east of the Appalachians to west of the Rocky Mountains and west of the Grand Canyon and so on, one glance and one can see the beauty, this country has to offer. All of us here need to be better, kinder, and more aware of this life we've been gifted. It seems as if you cannot accept that you are a complete political and foreign policy novice who currently has prejudice, fascist, misogynic and other viewpoints that are deeply rooted in your brain's neuron wiring system after years of winning manipulation games, psychological warfare, being praised and hated, and your inability to correctly process information. Then the art of mastering face and shock value, gaslighting, herd tricking, modern media business connections via brand personality dialogue and other advertisement entities, and the ability to infringe your thoughts, energy, and aura onto others. Those combinations of attributes are understandably causing a few vantage points in which you exist in relation to the rest of the world in 2017. People of this earth have long misinterpreted okay ways to admire celebs, and celebs have long taken advantage of their fans in different degrees of severity. The culmination of everything modern, entertainment, technological advancements surrounding the media, the illusions and dangers of superstardom, the content that is absorbed, made, and advertised, not to mention the millions that use social media to satisfy holes in their minds and hearts are all in play, or for harmful purposes. Cause and effect, gravitational pull, yin-yang, the world the mirror hangs on, the philosophy of free will, patterns of time, sociological illusions, mind control, soul searching, soul taking, frustrations of the confused, mass hysteria, detachment from thyself. It all ties directly to you, Mr. Trump, leader of the free world. The world needs to rise to a point where we hold ourselves, our leaders, and others more accountable and are more forgiving of ourselves and others. We are all on this planet together. A leader who does not wholeheartedly care for all his people must assume they will either come together or destroy one another. But which would this leader have happen? I, for one, would love to see something happen that you have not wished for, and that is global world peace between countries and other fighting groups, and suspensions of all weapons. Suspensions of all weapons traded across the world. So that one day people will be able to freely travel outside man-made borders to see the beauty this world has to offer. You make good people feel bad emotions that some are unable to surrender to. This country would be better if the rest of this planet heals, survive, and thrive. That is a fair assertion. With no mainstream corporations reaping benefits of crossbeat theories, ancient teachings, and magic-related content such as Doctor Strange, Young Pope, Mr. Robot, Ancient Aliens, The Matrix, Stranger Things, and other before the current ones that laid the foundation for people to wonder about human and cosmic potential, conspiracies of all kinds, sacred mysteries, and the ways to live without formal government should be drawn up soon, thanks to realm shifters and mediums such as Brian Greene, Sigmund Freud, Da Vinci, Shia LaBeouf, Ed Snowden, Ilana Glazer, Abby Jacobson, Einstein, Dan Brown, Kid Cudi, J.K. Rowling, Robin Williams, John Lennon, MLK, Bob Marley, JFK, Tupac Shakur, Rod Sterling, Dave Chappelle, M. Night Shyamalan, Buddha, the first Aztec Chipta, Merlin the Wizard, King Tut, Bao Dai, Bruce Lee, George Lucas, to name a few. The legends, known and unknown of the past, and now the underground speakers who keep alive the messages of light while risking their lives will always be alive. Their imagery and word masters who are exposing threads of reality known by the world and unknown everyday beginners are become intermediates to the mediums. Then with people who are not so aware but enjoy infringing on other people's realities seen on social media accounts, signs of all kinds, graffiti, posters, subtle notes, phantom practices, along with artificial intelligence investments by companies such as Apple and Google. Groups such as the Illuminati, Freemasons, boroughs of government, and other alliances having problems with infighting, data leaks, and moles while still trying to play their game. You like to cause fear in people, so therefore you have much fear in you. History and the future are watching these very moments in and outside of this space-time continuum. The all-seeing eye sees all. The all-seeing eye sees all. The all-seeing eye sees all. Your lie about donating 10 grand, let alone 1 penny, to any 9/11 fund should have halted your campaign due to the nature of the lie and the hypocrisy of your motives. It is contradictory to your desire to quote-unquote protect this country and quote-unquote fight terrorism. In a devastating time for this country, you were nowhere to be found. Although you lived up the road, you were MIA. You had much more than the supposed 10 grand and a lot of resources like rooms, bathrooms, food, and clothes that could have been used for good. The same with every New York City disaster or tragedy. You were nowhere to be found. But now that you're a political figure, we all know that you care now. Most of us Americans do not have the luxury to not be held accountable for mistakes that are made in a manner that causes others harm with an intent to harm like you are accused of doing. Then to not only show any compassion, the accusation within the situation took place, you opt to a childish way of switching the blame, all while demanding everyone show you undeserving respect, obedience, and borderline worship. There are lives, livelihood, and life at stake here for this planet. This is real life, bruh. Your lack of compassion, a key trait for being a leader, will be exposed even more than it has been. Not to mention your lack of real foot on the avenues and lack of real New York City experience is also a telltale sign you're not a New Yorker. To touch briefly on the incoming administration, let's begin with the youngest you will be serving. It's not okay if children use you as an excuse not to condone themselves in a fair and respectable manner. It's imperative the youngins know they can win the game without playing outside the rules, lowbrow trash talking, and to think before they speak or type, and to be all about the facts. The fact that you were not properly tested on American history, your checkered past, your supposed Christian faith, foreign policy and domesticated issues, the many on-record untrue hateful statements, then to have close to zero resistance from your political peers to stop you. It seems very clear you were prophesized to be the 45th president of the United States. You were prophesized, Mr. Trump, to hold the throne. Everyone needs to accept that. There's a reason why you're there. Reasons, some known reasons, some unknown. And also, this is titled The Proclamation to the President of my nation. He's exactly halfway over. I'm the Leo Zane, by the way. You've been prophesized to become the 45th president. It was written in prophecy. But sir, I promise you, many people across the globe are ready to help discover and really lead this planet in ways that you cannot comprehend. It's no coincidence that many research groups of scientific, spiritual, and magic-related studies are all closer to the past and future than ever before. The diligent work ethic and appreciation of all the knowledge and love passed on by past people of this earth. You try to defend the reputation, all while trying to tarnish the reputation of others. Far as the official metric and qualifications for the job you are in do not fit the appropriate standards, you have the least experience and you lost the debate. Anyone questioning your legitimacy has the right to do so. For the long-term health of this country, we all need continents and the ones within them to prosper. We will not be a great country we are without people from all over the planet. excluding the agendas of other presidents. Why did George Washington, the father and the founding fathers, escape from the father country to our country? The obsession you have with eradicating the works of your predecessors that is laid in stone and on paper and is unnecessary and correlates with problems in your psyche. If this was a movie, it'd be a great saga, but this is real, live, and now. With that being said, Donnie boy, you are not the root of the problem of this country. You are the apple that has blossomed from the problem. You are the effect of the cause. You are the red and green light of many intersecting roads, my dude. There will be a time when your followers and antagonizers will find out you are not the man they thought ought to be. No turning blame on your horribly picked staff like Carson and Bannon, or your son-in-law, etc. When a member of your regime gives you a briefing, how will you know this info is true? Will you for once hold yourself accountable and be honest with yourself? To shortly elaborate on initial reactions from the election, some Americans felt helpless, sad, and angry to let the country get to this point. But what some of them don't even know is that they have been influencing the cultural landscape. Sorry for the boogers, everybody. The cultural landscape in their words, actions, information, and imagery. They chose to be at the forefront of their conscience without maybe knowing it. Some of your haters made it acceptable for you to stroll right on in to the office. You are a man of impulse, but only certain impulses. You do not know what it's like to go from the ground up, from the ground with nothing to the top. That's the ultimate success story. Your failed business ventures, failure to diversify your portfolio and invent new business models, an obvious unwillingness to put anything before yourself, your hypocritical attitude, and unwillingness for a fair fight or verbal exchange, and your unwillingness to disassociate from hateful groups who support you are all telltale signs. You seem to see things like precious resources, time, United States soldiers, and any other assets as pawns in your game, all the while you are a pawn of others, notably Vladimir Putin's game, whose intentions are clear and seems to be 10 steps ahead of you at the moment. This earth is not that kind of playground. Your social media addictions, your thin skin, and need to jump to incoherent conclusions is not going to be of any help. There is a labyrinth of ways to explain the totalities of the paradox known as racism and problems within the people of different skin complexions or pigmentations. Only I and a very few individuals can. I will attempt that feat at a later juncture. But to brief you, quote unquote, Mr. President, after you win, people were sure about how they felt about people more than they ever have been. For you, a creature unlike any other, an animal. You're an animal unlike any other, who waited for this time on purpose, like a true capitalist, to jump in the game. When if your eyes, America has fallen from grace. Where were you to help in that juncture? In regards to your very clever Make America Great slogan, what role did you play in the fall of America? How did you prevent it? Did business practices and alliances like yours partake in lack of support of the small guy here in New York City? Have you anything to do with the perceived decline of New York City culture? What do you do to keep jobs in New York, in this country, to people that wasn't serving under the Trump name or establishment? Did you also partake in the many same actions that you accuse some people of doing? Is the spotlight going to be too much for you? What role did you play in the fall of America? That goes for everybody, by the way. If you think America is actually falling, what role did you play? Almost done, guys. This is the real world, Don. Something you have not had that much experience with. Regardless, many people do feel challenged to be a better person and make sure the legacy of the great leaders before stands stronger than ever before, thanks to you. You've been called genius. You've been called a racist. You've been called a visionary. You've been called a liar. You've been called a savior. But you are not stupid, foolish. You may be. Your initial response to serious allegations, such as the suspected Hague breach by Russian or any foreign alliances, as complete hearsay, and your fifth grade comeback to Miss Merrill was troubling indeed, given both their reputations and on-the-record activities. Then to mock the agencies such as the CIA that are supposed to protect you was quite perplexing. That will be something to monitor. Your admiration for Vladimir is obvious and troubling. You've been on record praising other dictators and saying words like Nazi with no proper regard. With no proper regard. You love anything that is military Americana propaganda, which can correlate with false flag possibilities to further some overseas agenda like more oil, more money, and more death. Everyone from the real elites, the real Rockefellers, the real shot callers, to the homeless fella on Fifth Avenue will be eager to see how you move. I am eager to see you find God, and I'm eager for God to finally find you. Until that point, symbolically, it's not possible for you to morally lead the world. Not only can your legitimacy be questioned, but your American heart can be also. How much quality, self-motive, free time have you spent with heroes of this country? Service people who are hurting. What about the real people who are jobless, homeless, or are in dire need of financial help? You haven't been on the foundation, the backbone of the heartland. Real Americans. No, they don't always have to agree, but they do have to show the minimum acceptable respect to everyone to be considered a real American. Must it still live secret? But a few shades of your true colors have been revealed. As you know, there are a few things the almighty dollar cannot buy. Also, cosmic karma can heal all. God can show you the right and the wrong. The first step is opening your heart so your mind can follow. The abandon you have for your followers is worth noting. You have willing, hypnotized participants to help hatch any plan you may be cooking up. You are having fun on the throne, but at what cost? Your prior foreign policy statements and your business venture resume may indicate it may be difficult for those in need of available resources across the globe to receive them. Do not play keep away with the goods that should be used for good. There will never be a positive military or militia war on this earth's soil or atmosphere ever again. Mother Nature needs it to need us. You will aim to take responsibility for all the great achievements that are set to happen in the upcoming years. Yet it's exactly the opposite. According to the laws of the physics, people outside of DC and TT will be leading the way and illuminating the vision. The mortals who defend the immortal will rise. The Carpe Diem crusade will be won through peace, and people young and old, strong and sick will create. A renaissance is coming, a real renaissance, my dude, of life during the years of your presidency. There will be new ways to get water to Africa, food to Asia, and medicine to South America, led by us, visionaries. I did enjoy, this is a little asterisk, I did enjoy seeing you some weeks ago, photo with Kanye West. Although many people on both sides of your support circle do not enjoy, Kanye West is the only A-list celebrity living with a more fragile mental framework and is more detached from God and his soul than you. He is also leading the people to believe he is something that he is not. God works in mysterious ways. Did God itself secure your victory for a greater good down the road? Or was it just the supposed Russians? Hardy, har, har. Any one of God's children, including you, can cleanse their souls regardless of anyone's free will done on this earth. The path of right will be shown to all. This is the only letter I will ever write to you. May God be with you, Mr. Trump. If anyone at all needs me to elaborate, find me at Zane, California. That is ZAEN, California, at gmail.com. There is a reason why the Egyptian pyramid is on the dollar bill of this country, Mr. Trump. Do you know why that is? 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 This was the proclamation to the President of my nation. I'd like to thank Mr. Shia, a real medium, a real realm shifter, a real shape shifter, and his two collaborators on giving one person like me, one piece of soil like me, one piece of dust, one piece of sky, one atom, one electron, one proton like me. A nice platform.
Well, depends how it works. Artwork or schoolwork?
Everybody take care.
Stay safe, bro.
Artwork.
Yeah. For like a little seat.